All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for day 2 of your Predator Winter Slam. We got a beautiful matchup on this cold day with Nibble versus Sinister5 goals. And interestingly enough, they're gone for Vertigo, which is very dicey. I can't believe Sinister5 let that through, knowing it is potentially one of their best maps. But yeah, glad to be back with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tools. And indeed, we do see Nibble Esports versus Sinister5 here. Sinister5 definitely one of the favorites to earn that early qualification spot. They find themselves in the grand final here. Got to say, a little bit of a surprise. Obviously, a chaotic day 1 as well, but day 2, Nibble find themselves all the way here in the grand final, making quite a run to take their shot at getting into that finals weekend of the Predator Winter Slam.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at Nibble's track record and their progression throughout this comp, they beat Meteor Makers 16-10. Meteor Makers, quite an infamous brand, and 1.6. And then they went on to beat Clutch King 16-12 and Ekasi 16-7 on this very map, Vertigo. Sinister5 haven't really touched this map just yet, so letting it through, once again, as I alluded to earlier, is a bit dicey. Sinister5's sort of pathing throughout this event so far. He's been 16-3 versus Iceberg Black, 16-4 versus Critical 5, and then eventually finishing off versus Online Kingdom. And you know, between the two teams, Nibble Conspire, the two playmakers, the two heavy hitters of Frozen and Muhammad, and the side of Sinister5, it is Elusive and Dweezil. Looking at their stats throughout this comp, they've been doing a lot of the work goals.
Yeah, and interesting to note for those that aren't aware, but very recent roster adjustments there as well. Obviously, with the addition of Rogue, who was kind of on a sabbatical almost last year, just kind of taking that bench coach role, but now just joins the lineup. But let's jump into this pistol round.
Oh, straight into the B side. They're bursting the flashes. Quite not effective enough. Elusive just tappity tap. Exploding heads, exploding watermelon. Zero chance in there for the support, and he gets a lovely follow up there. That's 3 plays down for Conspire. How did they recover goals? Frozen trying his best. At least trays out Elusive, and it's a 2v4. Deviant, Dweezil. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a confident start there. Elusive two quick headshots with the support util there from his teammates, allowing him to take that pick. And after that, the kind of breach just falls apart or becomes a little bit weakened. The rotations come in for the trade, and ultimately looks like an easy pistol round for Sin5.
Yeah, there was no follow-up flash to blind off Elusive off that angle. Perfect headshot angle. Didn't really have to move, but run straight into the Molotov, straight into the Farmas of Deviant. He gets 2 for his efforts. Picked up the Farmas goals. This is not too bad so far from Conspire.
Yeah, great trading there, and they managed to get a couple more picks, but it is only 2 frags that they are able to get. Remember, that was a full Glock round, so brute force was the name of the game. Push through that molly and subsequently get weakened and eventually dealt with. So Sin5 convert the round. Expected, though. Here's the buy round coming out of Nibble Esports. What are they going to do here, Tools?
All right, it's time for Nibble to open up their playbook and show us why they picked this map, show us why they've gone into the technicality of it. Sinister5. So far, so good. 2 rounds on the board. A good buffer. They keep on to them MP7s. Some slow, methodical play so far from Nibble.
Yeah, quite stock standard stuff here, just spreading out and not committing to any sort of zone there at all.
Yeah, and this map has been updated time and time again, from spammable walls to non-spammable walls, moving and changing pathings in the map. So let's just see if it's to the benefit of Conspire or not. Some hard work needed to be done, I'd assume.
Yeah, quite a bit of an A presence here created by the side of Conspire, so waiting for a mistake to be made here from Sin5, but they're not getting aggressive, they're not hunting for that information. They kind of set up on a basic defensive hold here.
Well, they've got enough smokes for line smokes. They can molly off headshot box over there just to create some space, get the bomb down and play for the retake. Sinister5, really nothing to work with left. You can see the aggression from Rogue on the MP7 gets taken out by Ivan. To ask for his name, Dweezil just popping up there, getting a trade of his own. Still a 4v4 bomb, not down just yet, and all players on the server on this A side. Rogue doing the best he can, just taking high ground there. Now the retake begins.
Yeah, slow, methodical stuff there to get onto that bomb site. Now they just have to hold it in there. Frags go their way, and this is looking like a gun round in the bag here. Still 2 rifles left on the side of Sin5, but looking to be in quite a tough position. Do have kits, so they need to get a pick, but no. Rogues gets that frag onto Deviant through the edge of the smoke there as it expires, and it's all up to Dweezil, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's just got to try to take as many weapons as possible from this point, perhaps get out with his own, but they're not going to let him. Nibble Esports take the gun round 2-1.
And they played that round beautifully. They took it slow. They baited out all the utilities Sinister5 had left. You could see towards the end they're trying to retake that. A flashbang left and not really much space to work with. So Conspire just slowly but surely taking away map control, eventually finishing on A site and just choking them down. Now they're forced into an eco. Sinister5 just upgraded pistols. These rounds usually do go in the favor of the team with most utility and weaponry. But the Deagles do bang. The Deagles definitely do bang. Oh! Dweezil! Weird, and he saw his gun or his head. Only did 10 damage. Felt like he definitely wanted a dink. Is there a chance? Maybe he's the guy to look at, but he's gonna get mollied off. No one to punish him. Does get a kill and traded out. Mohammed did speak of him earlier. Him and Frozen, the playmakers for this team, they're heavy hitters, so decent start to him. Frozen gonna just pick off Elusive on that B side. Pretty much no one left at home besides Deviant with the Deagle, and he just doesn't have control, but he has Angs, and Frozen deletes him off the map too. And definitely seems like Conspire should be evening out the scoreboard here. I don't really know much of this map, to be very honest with you. I know how to play it, etc., but where utility gets thrown, where is the best chances of you creating pathings for your T's to move in? We just saw that smoke that bounced off that double box over there, smoking up the right-hand side. I do appreciate the beauty of it all. I need to do more research.
Yeah, I must say, I mean, this is one of the more frequently updated or changed maps. I think, obviously, Valve or all the pro players have taken quite a liking to it. Or they've forced quite a few changes to get it to this point. So it's definitely interesting to see that it's making appearances now in the SA scene as well. Obviously teams feeling a bit comfortable to let this through, and of course, teams picking this as their stock standard map. So yeah, cool to see that picked up though. But Nibble respond well, 2-2 now. But this is going to be a little bit of a mixed buy from Sim5. They've got some rifles to work with.
Yeah, especially on that B side, they've changed up so much. They've enabled rotation and pathing quicker from A to B from the terrorist point of view, from the CTs. I think as well in a sense, so they kind of have to focus middle. They can't really lose mid control. Sweet Dweezil definitely wanted to be aggressive there. Double nade onto Catwalk. Not much damage made just yet. And that's what they call skinny. A lot of South African players have been calling it skinny. So I'm just going to go with the flow goals. I'm going to go with the flow. Mohammed's going to molly it off and push Dweezil a bit further back. They're going to just rinse and repeat the previous gun run they had. Spam, molly out to specific points, sandbags more so than anything. Skinny, just force the CTs back into that A side and then execute upon them. Same way they did previously. Line smoke onto headshot, plant the bomb down, fall back, set up a post plant. It's so hard to defend it without utility, so I just like Sinister5 to hold on just on a molly and a smoke and perhaps a flashbang. If they were to retake the A side, that is, as you can see, rotation slowly back to the A side, rinse and repeat. Dweezil gets punished for his aggressive play there. Flashbang wasn't effective as he wanted.
Beautiful play here. They just slow things down completely. They just wait for those peaks and they get it. Elusive goes down and so does Deviant in the sights. And of course, Rogues is going to get pushed and killed as well. So a beautiful kind of positional control there by Nibble Esports. And they managed to just follow it up with the perfect patience. And the execute on the side is beautiful. No players lost as well. Quite a bit of damage done. But again, Sim5 forced back on the save. Zero chance. Needs to keep that rifle for the next round. And for the first time this match, Nibble Esports are going to take the lead, Tools.
Yeah, and this is a terrorist-based map. I've seen a lot in the pro scene on HLTV, just checking out the stats there, so it does seem all normal to them. It's just a 5. Just maybe you need to get that AWP up onto Dweezil, just so you can just sort of get that frag and escape quite quickly without drawing out the battle too long. Zero chances in a save. Help the economy out a little bit, just looking at the scoreboard, yeah. Quite evenly balanced for Nibble. Sinister5. It's their turn to answer back. They Oh, strapped for cash at the moment. Strapped for cash.
Yeah,
Maybe recycle that M4. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it tight. You can see Dweezil hanging on to his $4,000 there, so they need this rifle to do quite a bit of work, and to expect them to get somewhat aggressive with the Molly to deal with that. And Nibble do seem quite rounded with their defaults and setups here, Tools.
Yeah, quite clinical with the utility as well. So it's all set up. Mohammed's going to swing off that flashbang to clear the ramp, and look at the battle ensuing in T-spawn, finally taking out Ivan. They're going to get that AK. And, do they go for the retake? It's hard. It's hard to go for the retake because surely they hold that flank. As you can see, Rogue is going to double back and to fulfill that role. Yep. This frag is important. Now they're going to get that AK, and I think the retake is on.
Yeah, they definitely should go for this. I mean, they put nothing into this round, so if they're able to just get past this initial util here, there's not much left in the pockets of Nibble, but still a lot of ground to be gained, and they spot the retake coming in. First frag goes the way of Frozen. He retreats, though. Zero Chance picks up another frag with the rifle. 2 players left, but they're working with time, and the time is ticking. 2 quick frags go their way as well, and they do push onto the site. Both kills had, and they will begin to defuse.
They've done it, girls. But barely anything. An M4, a 5.7, some armor, deviant, and a flashbang, but Spy just slowly but one by one just gave their lives away. I mean, I know you wanted to push towards heaven over there, but, you know, no one really was there backing him up.
Yeah.
Try to get that trade. If they were going to go aggressive and set up post plants there, then I think more effort needs to be put on their side. At least more manpower. They got money. They can try and maybe reset the economy of goals.
Yeah, for sure, and brilliant play there from Sin5, even though getting 2 quick frags. Elusive picks up one of his own there.
Oh.
He's traded up, though, through the smoke, and a spam shot. Too elusive, evens out the odds. That definitely favors the T's, and once again, on the buy round, Nibble find themselves in an advantage position, and what a shot as well from Frozen to further that advantage.
Kind of just smelled Zero Chance out of that corner there. His head was just bopping out a little pixel there. Definitely think he's going to reevaluate his spot the next time he plays there. That smoke, of course. You know, the old Vertigo, you could actually smoke off that entire choke point flush. But now they made it a bit wider, so there's a little gap from the left or the right side, as you can see Zero Chance deleted from the left. But Inspire just going to cut all the noise and go dark and force the hand of Sinister5.
Really loving the slow and methodical play. You can see they're very, very comfortable with their phases within their play tools. I know you speak about that quite a bit when you want to evaluate a team's T side, and you've got to say that Nibble have got something going here on their T campaign. Quick frags there, beautiful entrance into the site. 4v2 now.
These guys have done their homework, guys. They've done their homework. Caught catching Elusive off guard over there, just playing it dark and re-hitting that A side after a few seconds, and letting the CTs just reset and reshuffle their defense. And eventually ending off with a lovely set piece towards that A side. And now look, all 4 players alive. The economy is going to be flourishing. And the Sinister5 on the back foot once more. Just going to maybe discard that AVP. I like it. This map is very limiting in the sense of the viability of the usage of the AWP from the T perspective. You kind of only can post angles after you've taken them. After your team is a flash, the CTs off their AWPing angles. And ultimately, you kind of limit the pace that you guys go with an AWP. So the 5 AKs are working for Conspire thus far. A lot of people say this map is boring, and I can get why they see that. It's very small. It's not much you can do. A lot of the changes are sort of disabling new set pieces that's created. A lot of hard work needs to go into the map, and a lot of people are reluctant to put in that hard work.
Yep, not Nibble, and obviously Sin5 have done homework of their own as well, as they allowed this map to come through. And again, just a slow, methodical positional take here on this A bomb site, defaulting out, just trying to get position of this ramp. It's going to force Zero Chance to have a look for a frag on the edge of the map. He gets it.
Nice. That's one of their star players taking out the top fragger, in fact, from Nibble. Rogue is going to try his hand by Skinny again, eventually getting spammed out, and that's what I'm talking about. Now imagine if that was wood, because that's been updated into steel. Shot through steel goals.
Yeah, he was really, really low there, so, I mean, you got to land them. Spidey, you know, even if it takes a little bit of damage to get there, Still going to land him. So here comes the A exec, and again the entry goes the way of Nibble, and they've really got this entry into the site waxed. This is going to force Rogues to push, and this is where the flank comes in. Beautiful A wrap around here.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the A site in general, why a lot of people have their reservations about this map. Yeah, it's you do those two smokes, you do the molly and headshot, and you literally have the A site. Obviously, if you've taken Skinny, that is, and it's just so hard to retake it as CTs without a properly rehearsed retake there. Ivan finally put on the nail of the coffin of Sinister5. Is there a chance to be more specific? But yeah, that's the problem with that A site. So you're forced to be over aggressive, but if you don't know how to be aggressive, so usually we throw that deep smoke into the A ramp or molly on towards sort of catwalk to inhibit the T's from running up, and two pop flashes. That smoke there is to obviously block out Skinnies. The CTs can't do what I've been mentioning earlier, but it's just so limiting to the CTs. If they don't take 3 players towards the A side and fight for it, they're losing. If they do lose it, they get execed upon. You get execed upon, you kind of have to be good at your retakes, no?
Yep, 100%. And again, just speaks to the depth here, or it is the depth of the playbook for this map. And yeah, Sin5 again on this eco. They get that frag again. They've managed to get the openings and convert these rounds quite well. Did open up with another one here on this B site. They've evened the odds, but Nibble recover.
Well, the recover indeed, but still in a dicey situation. Elusive. I thought he had the bomb there, but he's coming through the flank. He's coming from behind T ramp. And Ivan perhaps missed the timing or the sound cues that he gave up, or vice versa, and then that's going to be the information. Tappity tap, destroying Conspire, attempting his recovery at this round. Elusive, unbeknown to him, Ivan has been planting at the B site, and that's hard because look at the timing. He's going to get them the next 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Ivan could be anywhere.
Yeah, Elusive, infamous for his 3v1 clutches for many, many years now, and needs to convert this frag to make that happen, to make that a reality and recover another eco round here for the side of Sin5. But as you say, the reposition of the T's made it really, really difficult, and he's definitely heard that. He's doing the wraparound tools. He's going to follow him onto the sites, and surely Elusive's not going to expect it. Oh! He spots him, gets on that bomb. He knows that angle's closed, and Ron's going to throw that molly down. It's perfectly... Well, it's not just misses, but it allows him to get that ground or gain that ground and convert the round. Close, but no cigar for Sin5. But again, a lot of damage done that eco round.
Some confidence for Sinister5 at least. I mean, these rounds are getting a bit close, and they slowly but surely we're just chipping down away at the economy, and eventually they'll get to a point where they'll force out the eco and they get some free rounds of their own. But so far, gun rounds, and there we go. Double orbs. Let's see. They can just get the opening frag and just relieve the pressure that they're feeling right now.
Slow, methodical A-take is the name of the game. It looks like this is something that Nibble have favored throughout this T-half, and it's definitely given them quite a bit of success. I think the only round they actually came short was on that eco run when they got pushed all over the map, so still pretty clean in terms of buy rounds. So
1-1-3 sets up from Sinister5, 3 towards that B site, or 2-1 leaning, 1 holding middle from scaffolding, and 1 hoping that B site. That AWP Conspire returning to what worked for them earlier. It's the good old faithful, slow, methodical A exec. There you go. Stock standard line smokes coming out. Molotov for headshot. A flash to create pathing, and ultimately the bomb plants. And how do you stop this? What do? Do they play for the retake? It seems they kind of have to. Just a battle of the spams from the two teams through the smoke. It's all they can achieve right now. Rogue, fire burns, buddy!
Yeah, and again, just forfeiting the site completely there, do Sin5, and Nibble must be feeling comfortable in this position. First frag on the retake goes the way of Elusive, and this is the critical position here of Rogue. He needs to get a couple of frags to keep this defense solid. He doesn't need a peek again. Beautiful play from him, and this allows his teammates to get involved. Muhammad gets the frag, and he gets another one through the smoke. Beautiful stuff from him, and extending their lead to 7 rounds now on the T side tools, and starting to look dire here for the CT or for the defense.
Yeah, the tack ball just speaks to what you mentioned. Sinister5 looking for some solutions to the problems they're encountering right now. So far, it's not so good. It's not so good at all. Rogues definitely looking for some kills, but give you some Easter eggs, boys and girls. Some Easter eggs. Yeah, all you can do is just spam through smokes these days on that A site. It's like playing golems in the mist.
It is, but it feels like there needs to be some sort of disruption there or early aggression and just kind of put some sort of pressure on those phases of Nibble, because it feels like they're way too in their comfort zone. And you can look again here with a slightly quicker version of it, but again, just establishing that control.
Oh! Power! One way of starting out the round. Mojave gets the fade onto these. Well, the garden hose pays off for Dagger of defeat. Haven't heard much of him. The Regus continues and the spam again. Paper thin walls, goals. Paper thin walls. Dagger's gonna continue with the smoke and elusive once again. Paying dividends with that D. He has armor to work with, so a lot more to work with than the trifecta. 2 more left, and this is the ace to win the round. If elusive does this, this team will be oozing and brimming with confidence. He does eventually take out Rogues, and there's 1 man left. He knows exactly where he is. 6 bullets left in the gun. 6 bullets left in the gun. He's behind him now. He runs out.
Oh! My chest, goals, my chest. He does it. He saves Sin5, the saving grace. He gets all the deals. He's probably the man doing most of the talking there in the tactical pause, but throws the tactics away and just brings out the one league of note. Elusive brings a bit of life here into the CT side that Sinister5 desperately needed.
I mean, it's one way to pull your team through the CT side, one way to just accumulate those rounds. Not only does it accumulate the rounds, but it gives them money to work with for this round and forthcoming after that. And this team will definitely be drawing some energy from that round, from that clutch, that ace goals, in fact, from Elusive.
Invokes a little bit of confidence here on the A peaks, and that gets punished. Again, this A default hold is just so powerful from Nibble.
Oh, the spray works out for Mohammed, and he seems to be a get-right sprayer. He's not a tougher. He's not someone like Scream. He just precision takes off the enemy's heads. He sprays it down. He holds that mouse one, and it's up to control. And so far, so good from him. 2 players left for Sinister5. It's tough. All you have to do, right, from Conspire, and I'm pretty sure that's what they've done, is keep doing what they're doing, because why change what's not working? What's working?
Yeah, just keeping it comfortable, and ultimately it is reaping the rewards, and it looks like Sin5 are just being, well, these errors from Sin5 are just being forced out and feel very, very limited in terms of what they can actually do. But again, your words weren't cold tools there off the back of that superb ace coming out of Elusive, but before we could pretty much finish our sentences, Nibble strike back, and that A kind of setup pays off dividends once again. 8-4 now, and they're quite a commanding position here in this game. You can see a couple of deagles being bought here from Sin5, so another eco round for them.
I honestly feel they should just stack the A site and play retake on that B site. Rogue coming to the party, opening up this round, kill onto Deviant. He just had a deagle, so kind of expected coming out of him. Yvonne's going to follow up and just clear out middle when he remaining players, but no one's at home, quite spread out, and 1 by 1 they fall.
Some impressive play, man. They, even with this kind of commanding lead, they're not taking things too quick, they're not changing up the pace too much, they're spreading it out, they're keeping together, they're waiting for those mistakes, and before you know it, it's a 4v1 or 5v1, and another round is on the board.
Yeah, it's why they picked this map. They knew, and it's kind of the theory I was going into yesterday, is if you're going to pick a map, make sure you know for 100% you've done the most work in it. You know, it's not the enemy's strongest map or near to it, and something ultimate the rest of your team's comfortable on. You've put in the grind, and they played it earlier today, right? And they got the W, and that's sort of enabled them to come into this best of 3 matchup. But again, it's a best of 3 series. Sinister5, if they do, let this map slip, it's nothing to worry about. They slip 2 maps of their own on their own comfort zone. You can see they aren't really as refined and as comfortable as they want to be on this A side specifically.
Yep, they do get a bit aggressive, and there comes the peak Deviant. Finally puts a stop to this A default, and Rogue chimes in with, I believe, his first frag as well. So hopefully the half picks up for him there. But that's finally that A kind of hold established. But is it too little, too late, Tools? Because only 2 rounds left, including this one.
Oh, Yvonne taking out elusive there by Scaffold. Does seem like it's leaning towards the beast, but there's a couple of still seconds left on the clock, so nothing definitive just yet. Deviant's going to just clear up middle. He's looking for his 3rd kill. And I like how they were aggressive on that A side. Zero chance finally coming through with the kill there onto Frozen. And that should be the round for them, 1v4. It's going to be too hard with 40 seconds on the clock left. And I mean, if they give them duels 1 by 1, finds those duels, it's possible. It's got a smoke and a flash to work with.
Yeah, they should be aware that he could have rotated all the way back, but the sound cue is going to prompt Dweezil to support his teammate there, gets the AWP shot, and that puts 1 on the board, and Sinister5 put number 5 on. So, last round here of the half, Tools.
Yeah, they threw on the aggression on that A ramp a bit late over there, Sinister5, but at least rather late than never, right? Deviant picking up 2 kills there, Rogues with the support kill there, Dweezil support flashes if anything did go wrong, deep smoke there, the Molly-Dorf catwalk, and I think that's if they can replicate that for this round and just retain that control, that dominance over that ramp, and not forfeit space and map control too easily towards Nibble, because you know, once you throw a few spanners, once you make them uncomfortable, that's where you see the true colors of a team, the true colors of individual goals.
Yeah, and interesting to note here that looks to be a double timeout here from Nibble on the last round. So I want to just kind of make some micro adjustments, I imagine, perhaps even discuss a couple things for the next half, but they're definitely going to be chuffed with their start here.
Since the 5, they can get 6 rounds on the board, it's going to be okay. They'll be happy with the half, despite how it started, despite how they're pretty much getting dominated. They'll walk away with a smile into the T side.
Do you see Sin5 electing to get quite aggressive and peek there, but they are flashed away from Dagger, and that is kind of a little bit of a ruse here. They do have numbers towards this B bomb site, and they have moved away from that A setup that has been so successful.
Yeah, Frozen opening up the round there through the wood. The hazardous fall onto elusive there, and that's the vulnerability to sort of, I wouldn't say aggressing alone, but aggressing in that sort of position where everything is spammable in that zone. There's not much utility to disable Frozen there. He's all alone, so he'll be chuffed with that kill. Seems like Darlene towards a B split. Frozen once again pops off the head of Zero Chance. Rogue coming through middle with the trade cake goals. Deviant coming to the party once again in that B side. Frozen, that's his 3rd kill of the round. And will he do what Zero Chance did? Excuse me, elusive with an Asu.
Yeah, he needs the ace here to win this for his team, and Dweezil is going to stop that dead in its tracks, put that thought to bed, and that is going to put the half to bed as well, excuse me. And yeah, I mean, 6 rounds, 4 and 5, I think definitely say they would be a bit happier considering how things started there, and 6 would be enough to defend. They want to look at taking this pistol and, you know, take it round for round from there.
I think they must just copy past what Nibble did on their T side, and I don't see a problem with that. I think with the experience on Sinister5, I mean, we got the likes of Elusive, Zero Chance, Deviant, Dweezil, and Rogues to a certain extent, but anything that comes to them, they should be able to just communicate effectively and dictate and command orders. On the side of Conspire, preparation is what's winning them this matchup so far. The kills coming out of Frozen and Rogues have been quite nice, but the push up into A ramp, as you can see, where's the utility going to be landing? They only have one, so they block out not the headshot side, and this is what it's dangerous. This is what Daggers of Death is dealing right now, but 2 swift kills come from Sinister5. The bomb should go down and the retake should commence. 3v4 goals. How do they do it?
Yeah, again, this is going to come down to the duels that Sin5 elect to take, and they should be playing super passive. They should force Conspire to kind of close these sorts of angles, and you can see they're doing that beautifully. Deviant eventually takes a step, and he gets that information. That prompts a step from his teammates, but they are getting taken out. They lose both the lives. It's all up to Dweezil and up to Rogue. Rogue is dealt with. It's up to Dweezil now. He knows where one player's coming from. They take him on together, and they are going to get onto that bomb. So the pistol round goes the way of Nibble, and despite a really successful entrance into the site there, it is the patient retake that reigns supreme.
Yeah, there's USPs ultimately there. It's hard, with Glock versus the USP on that headshot angle. All he has to do is just click. He doesn't really even have to move his crosshair. Sinister5 into that spider's web, catching some headshots. Daggers of death. I'll be happy with that. And they lead so far 10-6. Spire showing why they picked the map, showing the brilliance, the architecture.
Beautiful little pop flash peek there for Frozen. Deals swiftly with the speed push. Does have to reload, but his teammates are there. Decent crossfire setup, and that's going to allow them to not take any minimal losses. No loss at all. Just whatever they had in their pockets. And it was a full eco from Sin5, so kind of to be expected. And now they're going to purchase up tools. Now it is their turn on the gun round here.
Looking at the CT side, it doesn't really feel they have quite an expensive playbook on Vertigo, Sinister5, so I think they're just going to bunch up, stick together as four, and keep trading it out. But that's the experienced way to go about it. If you don't know much, just stick together. Just make sure the spacing's good and you trade it out. Yvonne already taking contact then with a ramp. Dweezil taking out Rogue over there. And they're pedaling back the CTs. They might trip on their shoelaces. Dweezil isn't going to stop.
Yeah, quite a lot of ground gained, and this is going to kind of isolate Mohammed. Yeah, he takes the step and he gets the frag. Dweezil kind of isolated there. He did get aggressive, push past the molly and put some pressure onto the site, but there's no real follow-up. But both players on this A-bomb site extremely low and also have weakened weaponry as well, so...
A fat grenade onto Rogue over there, goals. Fat grenade. And not knowing much util, they're going to just wait for the fights ever so patiently. King of Patience is elusive. He's been doing it for years, goals. But the star player can really best him in that altercation.
He is known to hold many off angles or angles in his lifetime for sure, but that's definitely a critical frag in this round. And again, just the patience coming out. We said we would like to see the same thing from Sin5, and they are kind of leaning towards this A default, but CTs have still got somewhat of a hold on the site here.
Zero chances. Slowly but surely just eking forward into that B site. The call should come out that B site's open, and he's sitting in such a dangerous position behind enemy lines effectively. He's going to catch the rotations. Hopefully, yeah, he does catch out one. The other gets two for his efforts there, sitting in a prime spot here. Could even take out the third, and he does. Beautiful look coming out of Zero Chance, coming through for the boys.
Yeah, calm, cool, and collected. Despite looking like they had to commit onto that A-bomb site, the patience pays off, and the rotation is swift and ultimately pays off. Deep positional advantage coming out of Zero Chance there, and he plays it to perfection. Calls his team over with confidence. They commit, and they get the round on the board.
We could see Nibble didn't really want to play for the retake on that A side. All the numbers were on there. Kind of what led to that B side, that opening, that gap coming out of them. Dweezil seems to be the point man. For Sinister5, the USPs come through. They swing wide, but they're getting taken out one by one. They're so squishy. It's too easy for Dweezy.
Yeah, too easy for Dweezy indeed. And again, just unrelenting A aggression is the name of the game. And Sin5 put another one on the board. Again, there wasn't much purchased or invested into that round at all. So we do expect to see a big buy coming out of Nibble. And we see that AWP come up on the Danger Man in Frozen. So interesting to see where they elect to kind of poke and prod with that AWP tools.
Sure, Frozen is the man to be watching. He's got that AVP. They're going to swing wide middle. That flash didn't even work. Yvonne, borderline insanity. Creating such an opening in that CT defense. They're going to have mid control. And they're going to do what they want. Split A, split B. There's so many openings. Frozen with that AWP. He's getting shots left, right, and center. He's pivoting. He's turning. The support comes in from Rogue. Finally traded up. But there's another in form of Mohammed. Rogues. Standing strong, standing tall, and scaffolding. Cutting all the noise. Assessing the situation.
Beautiful adjustment there from Frozen, and what I really love to see is, despite being under that pressure and landing that second shot, what comes afterwards is a complete blind turn of faith and hoping that his teammate just has his back covered, and he switches his angle, and it pays off beautifully. 2v1 here, despite the start of that breach looking very dodgy. So good recovery there from Nibble, but it's up to Rogue, as you mentioned, tools to pick this up for Sin5. He's kind of let time almost grant a bit of smoke bit of a smokescreen as to where exactly he is going, but he's still actually in the same spot.
How do you get down yet without a sound cue? There we go. There we go. Ever so neatly. But Frozen has been playing a great game so far. I just haven't really spoken much about him. He's been bouncing around teams, but it seems he's found a good fit. It seems like he's found a home throughout this competition. He's been putting up the big numbers. He's finally getting a 4K over there. Frozen. Putting the team on his shoulders. You got to take the doors and the hinges goals, and you got to put them in the boys' hands.
Yeah, 22 for 11 now, so taking a commanding lead in the frag department, and that round was kind of testament to his ability. Beautiful orb shots there. His repositioning is perfect as well, and most of the reason why Nibble walked away with that round. 12-8 now, and Nibble can start to taste that victory, but it is the buy round in response from Sin5. Elusive gets that first frag, and again it's towards this A bomb site.
Yeah. Rinse and repeat what Conspire did, what Nibble did on their T side. Once they get that opening frag, just have to sit still, cover all the choke points, and wait for the CTs to make the next move. There's a chance. This is the lurker towards that B side, has been doing so for the past couple of rounds. Baiting out some util, perhaps just creating some sort of a presence to give space to the players coming through middle. Dweezil takes first contact. They're going to smoke off the choke point. They're going to split off the B side, but there's two players in there waiting. Arms, Rogues just best elusive there by Skinny, but the B side's cracked wide open. Goals.
Yeah, beautiful entries there. You could see that Nibble weren't absolutely sure where Sinister5 were taking that hit, but once they pop out of that middle area, get that first kind of positional advantage, they just jump onto that B bomb sites and take the heads off. And beautiful kind of sequence of events there from Sin5 to gain entry into that B site. And despite Elusive kind of keeping that one player on towards A, it was the job. He didn't get the frag, but job done. He created that presence, and he was able to confirm that the rotations would be weaker. There shouldn't be numbers on the other side. So another round here for Sin5, closing it by 3 now.
Yeah, I like Sinister5's train of thought. I mean, they don't really know any executes, right? They don't know how to put a full exec on that A side, on that B side. So why not split the A or that B side? It's so much easier, a lot less utility needed to create the full line of the full effect of it. Just take mid, force the CTs to make a mistake, get that free frag, smoke off the halfway choke point, and ultimately just crumble and pinch that B side. And it worked out. And if they keep going how they are, it's going to keep working out. How's Nibble going to respond, goals? What do they do? Limited utility, limited kit, pots and pans, knives and forks. It's barely anything, goals.
Yeah, it looks like they are electing to use quite a bit of that to get some aggression going and try and find some sort of early advantage. And Frozen is going to find it. The MVP so far is going to be able to pick off Zero Chance and upgrade his weapon, take that AK back and bolster up that B bomb site. Oh, lovely little boost there over that spam. That spam wall, definitely something we haven't seen so for this map at least. So another beautifully timed pick and advantage gained for Nibble here on a critical round. Remember, as you mentioned, only pots and pans, not much to actually work with, but they've managed to get the advantage tools.
Yeah, and all the map control as well. They completely have rotated off that B site. Understandable at that. Frozen picking off Zero Chance there, upgrading his gun. Dweezil at least getting a kill, making it a bit more competitive this round. He's the molly off headshot, and they're slowly going to move in. Perfectly weighted molly, perfectly weighted shot. 3v3. Ivan, such a pivotal spot. Their team can just be a bit more patient. Dweezil getting a second kill, but like I said, a bit more patient. Ivan's on the flank. Ivan's behind him. He is the man to watch. Give him time, give him space.
Yeah,
Frozen will do so. Oh.
They do deal with the flank, but it does kind of create space for Frozen to get on that side. And who else would you want in the clutch? But he makes the wrong read, and Deviant won't miss those. He closed the gap even further. Double digits for Sin5 now. 10 rounds.
10 rounds. Sweat must be slipping off Nibble's brow at this point in time. All their nitty-gritty tips and tricks, the execs, the hard work, the homework seem to be dwindling, slowly getting chipped away by Sinister5. Experiences reigning supreme so far, And reduced to a full eco round over here. What? The USPs are doing it, Gold. The USPs are doing it. All 5 players are here from Conspire. They're swinging wide elusive. Oh, like shooting fish in a barrel, but Rogues finally takes them out, and they're going to head over to that A site. They've had enough. Dweezil and Deviant, the double D combo. Going to close out this round, hopefully.
That was such a sweep. It was almost the collateral there, and he was killed and dealt with that entire 5-man kind of B hold. So elusive looked very, very dicey, and even though he got dealt with at the end, it did land up costing them quite a bit, but they managed to recover. Their split or the default setup allowed for them to rotate back to the bomb site, and Rogue on the side of Nibble will want to retreat and take this AWP into the next round again. Nothing invested, or not too much invested into this round. So quite, good work considering three guns taken away from Sin5.
Yeah, man. Nibble, they got the numbers. Looking at the score, but they got the numbers. 25 kills on Frozen. Rogues sitting on 20 kills. We have 2 rogues. You know what I mean? We have 2 rogues, one on each side. So one rogues and one the other. But yeah, 18 kills onto Mohammed, 8 kills onto Ivan. Dangers of Dagger sitting on 9 on the side of Sinister5. Elusive 23, Dweezil 15, 7, 16 onto Zero Chance, 12 onto Deviant, and the other rogue sitting on 7. He's kind of the newcomer on the team, so you kind of can understand that. Hasn't put much time onto the snap, so he's still trying to find his feet.
Sinister5 lean back towards that aggressive A take and start to move and do quite a bit of damage. That nade is going to be a Kobe. It is. Rogals lands it. Elusive gets the follow-up frag on Muhammad, who was looking for that kind of trade, and Dweezil finishes off that 8-bomb side defense by picking off the last player, and convincing gun around there from Sin5.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're letting it slip away. Nibble, perhaps another tack pause just to discuss some solutions, some techniques, some plays perhaps towards that A ramp. Try to deny that. Maybe towards B. Frozen's had some success there against Zero Chance, so he needs to maybe take control, take a player with him. Ultimately rotate back and stack that A site, but I don't know the solution for them goals. I'm still a noob at this map.
Yeah, myself indeed, and right now Sin5 being absolutely ruthless, just hunting for those rifles. They understand the pressure that they are putting onto the CT economy, and they go hunting and find those weapons. That is definitely going to force a bit of concern here for Nibble. As you say that, 12 to 12 now, draw is imminent, and Sin5 must be feeling like it's smooth sailing. And just to touch on what I felt, or where I felt it kind of broke down for the side of Nibble, was during that, at the start of that round on the A site, they chose to get a bit aggressive. They tried to get some aggressive positions going, and somewhere there was a call to move back to kind of put in or get into a defensive position, a little bit of hesitation. And as you are well aware, a good plan executed with a little bit of hesitation can cost you dearly. Sometimes a bad plan, if it's just fully committed to, is often better. But 12 to 12 now, Sin5 putting pressure.
Yeah, if just, Ivan and Dangers of Dagger can come to the party and support the rest of the players, it should be a lot easier on them. Elusive, too easy for him. He's not going to miss those shots, especially with 2 players supporting him. That should be free information from the rest of the gang. I'd be making some gambles at this point if I was Nibble, just on these rounds. Just stack the A or B side and hope for the best. Oh, Zero Chance. Holding on to his dear life there. Finally takes off Frozen. It's pretty squishy. Oh, Rose. Oh, gets a double. Doesn't really get out of harm's way. Deviant finally trains him out. Oh, that was the kill for me. If any way Nibble were to get in this, Dangers of Dagger needed to take that to enable Mohammed to just get back into it. He's one of the dangerous players I noted for Nibble. He has been the heavy hitter, as you can see. A quick short peek. Deletes Deviant. Time to a 2v1. He has no armor to work with, so he can find these headshot angles and just try to get these one-on-ones, try to force a mistake out of Sinister5. Nope. Rogues puts the nail in the coffin for this round and nets them the 13th round, and they take the lead.
They're doing as they take the lead. You do notice that the that the colors are swapped there at the top for the scoreboard. Sinister5 are in fact on the T side, of course, and Nibble are defending on the CT side. We will have that sorted out for the next map, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. But back into the game here, another pause coming out from Nibble, and they need to come up with an adjustment, a plan, something to, again, to deal with that kind of aggression, unrelenting aggression coming out of Sin5.
Yeah, Frozen's got quite a nice spawn here. I'm just interested to see where he's going to place that up. Which aggressive peak will he take, A ramp or in middle? It's too far away from B, just judging by his posture. We'll be heading towards that A side. The man to solo B will be Mohammed, and let's see what avenue he would take. He's going to go straight upon the platform. Wants to finesse his movement there. Just misses and scaves the ear of elusive, but the progression continues. On his heels is Dweezil. Punishes him for his efforts, punishes him for his mistakes, his transgressions. One man left on that A side, actually two. Play on skinny, play on default.
Yeah, I really love how Dweezil just understands the kind of mechanics of the exchanges of util and positioning here on this A bomb site, and he understands when he's got such an aggressive and advantageous position. He hunts that player down while they're on the retreat and gets that first frag. This allows Elusive to follow up here and wait for this rotating player. He misses the shot, though, instantly traded by Dweezil, and the multi-pronged presence coming out of Sin5 here is really just proving to be difficult to deal with.
Yeah, that was... Did they have a flanker there middle, guys?
Yeah, there was definitely... I think Zero Chance got a frag there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you don't have all information or control of choke points. Mohammed doesn't really want to be going for this. His team has no money. I think I would save 1v3. Yeah.
It's going for the glory.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see why, and the desperation is there, and the belief is there to win that 1v3, but you gotta look at the long game, man. You gotta look at the long game. Especially when the scores are hypothetically this tight, 12, 14. It's a matter of winning 1-2 rounds to break the economy and evening out the score. Sinister5 cruising ahead so far, cruising ahead.
Yeah, looking like a well-rounded team here. Both teams actually struggling somewhat on their CT side, but Sin5 have been more flawless, you could say, on their T side here. A lot of pressure being put onto Nibble, but Deagles is the call. They do have a smoke and flash to work with, no rifle, anything of the sort to swing things in their favor. So Sin5 going to play this patient, going to respect the fact that, you know, they need to approach these rounds with caution, not going to give anything away. They've made way too much of a comeback to allow that to happen, and Deviant opens up the frags.
I'd love to see them just group up and maybe tag team efforts to find these openings, to find these kills. They keep regressing into zones as individuals is not really paying off. We saw it on the CT side, it does pay off more so because the angles are so much more escapable, but you know, it's pretty tough when we're looking at how the score has been going. They haven't been able to string rounds together in the CT side at all to fluctuate the economy. They're just taking a beating, man, goals. And if they had a chance in the series, for me, it was on this map. It was on Vertigo.
I must agree, they looked so solid. It looked like they were mounting quite a bit of pressure out of, well, putting a lot of pressure onto Sin5, but, you know, I must agree, the depth of Sin5's map pool and experience on the maps that remain, you know, it's definitely going to be a way taller and tougher task for the side of Nibble, but they've shown up here on Vertigo, that's for sure. It is all up to the dagger of death, up against 3, but he's going to just go late into the side. He does pick up an AK, but he gets picked off by Zero Chance, waiting ever so patiently, and they unmatched point tools.
Yeah, the unmatched point, and perhaps the last chance, the last win, the last effort, the last round they possibly are going to play on this map. Goals. Frozen once again picks up that AWP. Has a lot of success with it in the recent rounds, so he's the man they're going to be looking at to pull them through and try get them to overtime. Try give them that breath of fresh air. Even you'll be taking out Deviant there in middle. Rogue is just going to bolster and batter through that Molotov. He cares for no fire. Rogues, both of them finally get into an altercation.
There can only be one, Tools. There can only be one.
Oh no, Mohammed. Goals. Look at his spot. Will they fish him out? Will they smoke him? Will they molly him?
Oh!
The flash bang of destiny! Nets him a 3K.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff coming there, and you could just see that's off the back of quite a bit of indecision of Sin5. They got naded, they got chopped to pieces there by the utility, and ultimately it forces their out. They don't have the certainty to molly those sandbags, and ultimately Mohammed makes a tactical position. He peeks out with that superb flash and nets all 3 frags. Gives a lifeline here for Nibble.
That's a lifeline they need. That's the little mistakes they will be praying for moving further on this. Bit of frustration coming there from Rogues. We've all been there, guys. Fluffing a smoke or flashbang. We've all been there. Oh.
Again.
That's the second time, goals.
He's
won that duel in that angle.
Oh! Ivan!
Holding the mouse one down, and they run straight into his crosses. Beautifully played by Ivan. I did say he needs to step up for his team. He needs to put more numbers on the board for them to stand a chance, and he does just that. He's down to a 5v2. Still a lot of money for Sinister5, so they won't really worry about that. Finances aren't a stress for them, but the rounds are. They definitely want to close this out.
Yeah, very strange decision there. You know, the previous round, Deviant got better in that exact same position, and pretty much in the same way. You know, there was a dry peak, and ultimately now they just followed that up with numbers, but somehow Ivan just manages to reposition and get that 3 kill, and now it's all up to zero chance now to end this match here right now. But no, Mohammed gets another frag, puts quite a few on the board there for himself, and he brings Nibble back into reach of overtime, Tools. And you got to say, I mean, they've managed to claw back at the right time here, and they moments away from taking this back to the reset and start again.
Yeah, if they start again, they'll give them a lot more time to work with. They'll be a lot more relaxed, and ultimately another crack at the chance of winning their map. But they need to get over the first hurdle, and that's just getting themselves to overtime. Double up system onto Conspire, to Frozen. Daggers of Death. Defeat, Daggers of Defeat, Daggers of Defeat. D-O-D. I'm not calling them D-O-D.
I was actually thinking
with that. D-O-D?
Yes. I think it's been a few years since Day of Defeat was played, so I don't think we would cause any confusion there, but I'll definitely say it is D-O-D from here on out. Day of Death is his name, and 30th round here, Tools, and a little bit of a weakened by coming out of Sin5, not much util kind of left, and a large amount of time on that clock.
They forced a bit of scuffle there, and Nibble Esports has camped there on that A side, causing a lot of sound cues, betting out of utility, just pumping them all out. The issue is Sinister5 don't have much utility themselves, so they got to just wait up that option. And what's been working for them, right, is putting a bit of pressure towards that A side and splitting the B side after that, just keeping the focus there a little bit. The spam is working out. Pop flash there for Roche just to clear off that A ramp. And they know that. Oh, these sound cues. These boots are heavy, goes. The boots are just heavy. That's about it.
Slow and steady here. No team wants to make that critical mistake, and Ivan is going to eventually have this duel that he's had time and time again with Deviant. Will he be able to get the better of him? Quick peek comes through there. They do spot him. They should be aware that he is coming through.
Oh, Mohammed with the wide swing taps out Deviant there. And DOD take out Weasel, and it's not what you really want, you know what I mean? Just want these 1v1s everywhere all over the map. No trades, and just enables Frozen to continue what he's doing. Yeah. Winning all these orb duels, won't be surprised if he takes this frag. And he does. Trey K, 3 kills, easy. 30 bomb, easy. Frozen, ice cold, ice cold.
No, ice cold, and you said that he needs to step up, bring his team through to these final stages, and he does indeed. Beautiful little, textbook frags that are coming out from the AWP, but I mean, all was said and done when the first part of that two-prong attack kind of failed, and it instantly gives him the confidence to peek. He throws a flash, and Sin5 just not able to deal with that position. And 15-15 now, and we are into overtime again, electing to go for that double orb setup. Do Nibble. So interesting to see where they're going to take those. Huge aggressive peek.
It's going to find him an easy kill down to Weasel there in front of the smoke. That's a second fill for him. There's still zero chance. Lurking behind, as well as Elusive, just trying to put some pot shots through there. The boost in the middle, is it going to pay off? They need to just trade this player out. They take the 2v1 and they win it. But decisions need to be made. That's bomb is being collected by Elusive, and they're going to head towards that B side. One more man in front of Frozen. Oh, with the USP! Gets a dink. He gets a dink. He definitely wants more. He's gonna play a bit more patient, wait for his teammate perhaps.
Yeah, good call. Very confident there with the pistol. Perhaps a little too confident with the repeat. That gives us Sin5 upper hand into this round. Frozen did so much of the work already. And Elusive is posting the right area. Commits to the angle as well. Gets the frag and they recover that round beautifully despite getting absolutely bullied. I think for the first time. Very, very convincing bully there on the A bomb site. But unfortunately, it slips up at the end. And Sin5 steal the first round share of overtime.
Yeah, Ivan getting isolated there in the middle, just taking that 1-on-1. He's been having a lot of success in the past, but once you get 2v1, then that's the solution for Sinister5. Steven just called upon his boy in their double swang and get the frag, but now Rogue's getting the better Rogues in the day wins.
Yeah, Rogue up against Rogue, and
Rogue is Rogues.
It is 4v4 now, and again with that aggressive CT stance on the A bomb side, but doesn't wield as successful results. Ivan looking for this pick here towards the middle area, spots the feet, gets the kill.
I mean, this is a zone, right? I think more so than less, he's won every duel in that section of the map. So big ups to him. He needed to step up, and he's finally doing so. 14 kills on the board.
Yeah, a lot of them in the last few rounds here on this on the CT side, and there's nothing more important than overtime kills. So that is indeed performing when it matters. And Sin5 in a bit of a tough position here. They have lost a man, but Deviant recovers that, and he's also been able to just get in the middle of them. But the dagger of death comes through, and beautiful peek there from Rogue. Can he get two? No. Gets traded out by Muhammad, who ends it off with a 2K and brings things back even Stevens.
Who's this Muhammad guy? Gonna check his stats quickly. Let me check his profile. I must know. Some Port Elizabeth goals. Some Port Elizabeth, the Windy City.
Great Counter-Strike town, some would say. No, it is the Windy City. Muhammad is definitely putting on a clinic here, making a name against some of the better players from the SA scene. And again with this aggressive play, Dweezil again successful with that opening frag and putting pressure, followed up by Rogue, and a beautiful quick change of pace here. They catch Nibble Esports off guard, catch them kind of still in transition from their early round aggression.
This is hard. 5v3. Retake on that site, and they needed the lurk to pay off. Deviant wins that duel. Ultimately, just takes away the two-prong attack. Frozen coming through with the kill onto 0 chance, allowing them more space to move into the site. But Dweezil is sitting in such a dodgy spot, such a sneaky spot, and Rogue's going to close out that round 17-16. They take the lead in this half. Overtime number 1. Let's go.
Yeah, again, pretty much speaks towards the game there. Most of the rounds won on the T side, so no surprises there. Nibble glad to grab one of their own. They were looking quite solid, quite confident on their T side initially. Of course, Sin5 shaky as well, but they've managed to, well, they're electing to go for the dual op setup here as well. I don't believe we saw that on the first half.
Nuh-uh, not at all. Perhaps it's the way to go. They're finally putting some aggression into the A ramp there. Rogue's taking out the player there, and Muhammad on Cat. They're going to fall back. The job has been done, and they can just reset that defense. Rotate a player back to the middle. Potentially even play for the retake to a certain extent. Maybe we can get one more entry while the exec is coming through. Nibble did rely a lot on that in the regulation part of this matchup.
Didn't look like it went where it was supposed to go, but
He shows a lot of frustration when he fluffs something, guys. A lot of frustration. This is where it normally gets kind of nerve-wracking for the counter-terrorists. When everything just goes quiet, you don't know what's happening, it forces you to pull out a play like this, and they've cleared a ramp, which enables them to just bounce their player back to middle or towards that B site, and ultimately ring the alarm bells for the players anchoring B to maybe use utility, play off angles, because they are coming. They are coming.
Yep. Pressure will be put here Elusive gets into a slightly more aggressive angle to get that info. He takes the peek, but unable to land the shot. The player's breach in, that's the bomb down. Elusive draws first blood of this breach. 2 frags followed up quickly from Zero Chance, the man himself, and Deviant closes things out, and they take the first round here on the CT side, Nibble5.
Yeah, 1 round left, and they close out this matchup. They close out Vertigo, the map of their enemy, the map of Nibble Esports. What do they have for us here? Maybe that quick B play could work out. They keep Elusive flashed. I mean, I haven't really seen much of that. I've only seen them play slow, and slow isn't really working anymore because Sinister5 have understood how to play against it. They're wiser to it. They're throwing out spanners of their own, plays of their own, to be the thorn in the side of Nibble.
Yeah, this is aggression from the CT side that's kind of put brakes on that, and they're not able to get into that comfortable position. But now they are able to get the first frag in this exchange. Quite a few mollies forcing them back. Won't be able to commit on it, but again, advantage gained, and that's what Nibble we're looking for.
Yeah, and how do they play it off? This kill's important. Oh, Dweezil definitely would have wanted that, but fortunately for Nibble, they didn't concede a death. That works out for them. They can just play a bit slow it now. The spam Deviant doesn't want any of this. Get out! Get out! Dweezil with the support smoke allows him to retake that ankle, just play behind it at least. Retaining Skinny for that much longer. 18 seconds, I assume. Oh! Okay, yeah, that is the thing. You kind of do want to spam that if they've already done the line smokes. The mollies are still there. Dweezil potting and probing that AWP, Zero Chance. I mean, Elusive comes in with a kill of his own through the smokes, and that's what you got to do, right? Just gonna spam the smokes. They can't really push it. Zero Chance with the flank, and this is GG, I'm afraid. I lie.
Oh!
I don't lie. I don't lie.
At least, what's almost couldn't trust you there for the rest of my life. So, thank goodness for the continuity of this pair. But I mean, that's it. That's all she wrote. Sin5 experience, comes through, and they ultimately close that down. High pressure situation at the end there, but they do come out on top, and I feel like they stole that away from Nibble. But with that said, Nibble showed a really, really strong face here against one of the top teams in SA. So really, really impressive to see that kind of depth in the roster.
Yeah, very happy with the performance of Nibble. I did feel that they had to throw a spanner. They did have to pick a map like Vertigo for them to actually try have a chance in this best of 3 series. But for now, guys, we're going to go to a short break. Don't go anywhere.